Hello everyone, welcome to the 140 Q&A practice. I'm going to start out giving you a word list. Okay, we've got Oliver, West Ohio, administrative, a bridge, university, which you can use the brief UFT, campus, reframe, narrative, militant, admissions, bard, voir dire, which there's a brief, initial V, final D. Let's see here, hostage, unmass, and unmass just means together as a group. Okay, this is going to start with plaintiff attorney. Ready? Dr. Oliver, directing your attention to the dates of May 7, 8, and 9. What was your employment or occupation? I was an administrator at West Ohio State University. What was your particular administrative position? President of the university. And did you, on the morning of May 9, 2010, may I approach the witness, please? You may. Did you cause what I am showing you, People's Number 8, this order to be issued? Yes, I did. What occurred prior to this date, which had any bearing upon your issuance of this order? Objection. There is no foundation showing that there was any authority whatsoever for the issuance of this order. May I take the witness on voir dire? Yes, you may. Dr. Oliver, you testified that you were president of the university on the 7th, 8th, and 9th of May? Yes, that is correct. Did you hold any other position prior to president at West Ohio State University? I was vice president of the university. This branch of the Ohio University system? Yes. Did you hold any position with state or federal governments other than your association with the state university system? No. On May 9, were you aware of any statute giving you the authority to abridge free speech on the campus? Objection, Your Honor. This is calling for a conclusion. I don't think it is relevant. Sustained. I have no further questions on voir dire, Your Honor. I renew my objection to the introduction of any evidence through this witness. Overruled. Subject to a motion to strike if it isn't all tied up. I wish to renew my objection to the question before this witness as to what he based his order on as far as prior events. It's not specifically just calling for a long narrative answer, but I would prefer your question. I will sustain the objection. Reframe your question if you will, please. Dr. Oliver, did anything occur prior to this date which had any bearing upon the issuance of this order? Objection. The question is too vague and indefinite. He can be more specific. Reframe your question. Did anything occur on January 4, 2010 that had any bearing upon your issuance of this order? Objection, and I move to strike the answer. January 4, by its very date, is too far removed to justify an order made in May. If they had dropped a nuclear bomb on this date, it doesn't justify suppressing free speech. I wouldn't say the very date is too far removed. If no relevancy can be shown, that is one thing. If it is relevant, that is something else. But how can the court tell whether it is relevant or not until I have heard? I don't think at this point the question is whether free speech was suppressed in January. And secondly, I don't know anything about the relevancy of a nuclear bomb being dropped in this particular case. Let's see what we hear, and if it isn't tied up, it will be stricken. What occurred January 4, Doctor, which had bearing upon the issuance of this May 9 order? January 4? Yes. A number of militant students went en masse to the admissions and records building. To clarify this point further, what did you see or hear, Dr. Oliver, which occurred on January 4, which had bearing upon your issuance of the May 9 order? On January 4, I saw groups of militant students on the 5th floor of the admissions and records building with the door barred and fire hoses out, refusing to allow me or any other officials of the college entrance. I was in my office. I was forced to sign an order. Go ahead, I'm sorry. For 12 demands which they dictated to me. On that day, I saw the halls of the 5th floor lined with militant students. I saw students standing guard at doors of rooms through open doors, in which I observed a number of female employees being held hostage. Was there anything else that you heard or saw that day? I saw a number of other students blocking stairways down below. I saw several hundred students milling around in front of the building in a mob scene, mob action, shouting and yelling. Was there anything else on that day? Not that I can recall specifically. Was there anything on that date that you were told occurred on that date which had any bearing upon your issuance of the May 9 order? Yes. Objection that calls for hearsay. Again, may I note my objection for the record that anything that Dr. Oliver learned of the events that took place in January are too far remote in time and place to be used as a basis for this. That is sustained. Okay, I have. I was later admitted, and in my office I was forced to sign an order. I have this here as something that you stated happened. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Okay, switching transcripts. All right, now this other Q&A I'm going to give you has at that time, actually 5 different places in this Q&A. So at that time, T-A-T, you really want to focus on that. You're going to hear it 5 different times. And also at any time, T-N-T, okay? You're going to hear handcuffed, which is, handcuff is H-A-U-F. So handcuffed, you're going to either strike the D or come back for the D. Unexpected, observe, O-E-B, returned, weapon. You're going to hear pickup, which is P-U, I write it as P-U-P, and then I flag pup. That doesn't come up very often. Pickup truck, I write as puck, P-U-K, and then I flag puck if that ever comes up, which doesn't happen very often. Pickup and pickup truck come up a lot more than the other two. All right, so this is going to be plaintiff attorney questioning. Sorry, there's like a little gnat flying around in here. All right, ready? Does that appear to be the unexpected shot shell that Mr. Miller showed you when he returned from the bed of the pickup truck? Yes, sir, it is. At any time, were these items shown to Mr. Watson? Yes, sir, they were. Now, when were they shown to Mr. Watson? I believe after we handcuffed Mr. Watson, he then observed the weapon and the shot shell. Did Mr. Watson say anything about the weapon at that time? At that time, he stated that if he knew that he had that shell left, that he would have used that one too. Did Mr. Watson say anything about the weapon at that time? I don't believe he said anything about the weapon at that time. Now, did Mr. Watson say anything about the unexpected shell at that time? Yes, he did. And what did he say in that respect? As I stated, he said that if he had known that he had that shell left, he would have used that one also. Did Mr. Watson say where he was going when you stopped him? Yes, sir. Where did he say he was going? He stated that he was going back home to get some more shells to come back and shoot some more. Did you notice anything unusual about Mr. Wilson? Yes, I did. Okay, just about 2 more minutes. Make up for the time that I was talking. Getting back to the medical transcript. Plaintiff attorney's questioning. Now, if he tried that or told you this, would this be a factor you would have put in your report? I would have put it in my report. I don't know how significant it would have been. There were areas of amnesia all through this thing. Now, by amnesia, do you mean that these are situations when he is talking to you and he doesn't remember what happened that night? Yes, episodes of lapse of what was happening. Do you have any way of telling whether or not the defendant actually remembered but was telling you a story different than his remembrance? There is no way to definitely tell no. So you get the information from the defendant. If there is a possibility of verifying it, you would utilize the possibility to verify the information. Is that correct? Within reason of your time? Within reason, yes. Now, doctor, I notice in your report that you indicate, and you have given us some of the same language, that the defendant probably was unable to understand or fully comprehend the nature and quality of his acts. You use the word probably unable. Is that correct? Yes. You are uncertain in this area, are you not? I don't think anybody can make a very definite statement as to what exactly a person was thinking at a certain time, months back when he was intoxicated. This is all probability. You realize the test, doctor, is not it is not a test that deals with the diminishment of knowing right and wrong. A person has to be unable to know right and wrong. Do you understand that? Yes. Okay, and that concludes our 140 Q&A practice. Have a great day.